Morning all, afternoon, evening, depending on where you are. Just let me know what the audio quality is like because I moved my microphone. I've got a brand new setup. Trying to optimize for streaming purposes. Beautiful. But also just to optimize for life purposes. So it's not in my way when I'm trying to paint. Good now, good celery, thank you. What's been happening over there in South Africa? Have they let you get it onto the beers yet? Good to hear. Alright, let's try and figure out what we're going to do today. G'day, Jester of Death. Oh, GT's joining the party as well. Whole fam's here tonight. Look at us go. GT, I did sign up for the affiliate program as you requested. So there you go. Giddy up indeed. Fen, I have no idea if what that means, mate. If this is your first time on the stream, you probably wouldn't know that I'm absolutely awful at streaming. I don't even know what that is. But get up it, get amongst them. Yes, Can'tCon is going very well actually. We had a full day of board games on Saturday, the first day of Can'tCon. We're calling it CannedCon up here, as in canned, as in it has been cancelled. Yes, and then yesterday played another full day of gaming with Koki, Sheldo and the great man Dodgy. So we had 2 full days worth of gaming. And we're doing some more tomorrow, so it's going okay. Pale shadow of an imitation of a real CanCon, but beggars can't be choosers. Cool. Don't know what Big Dino would have for emotes. Probably a whole lot of nothing. Yes, GT, yes. Bit of gaming with Dodgerific. He's getting into the board games a bit with us, which is good. G'day Rumble, morning. It is nearly 7 o'clock here, or just past 7, so different colour. That's a good call, good call. I'll pay that, sir. Yes, so we played on Saturday. We played Imperial Settlers and Maracaibo, and yesterday we played a game of Spirit Island and also a game of Rising Sun and also a game of Maracaibo. That is a banger, absolute banger, Maracaibo. That'll more than likely be in my top 5 games of the year. My highly valued Twitter post that happens at the end of each year where I talk about my 5 favourite games. Crowds of thousands. Oh, mate, clocked the expansion. Did it with my good friend Luke, regular gaming buddy, who was present. It is an absolute banger of a game. It was probably my favourite game that we played 2 years ago, the second 2 years ago, so whatever year that was, 2019, 2018, I can't remember. Yeah, we finished it, we actually played like non-stop for about 3 months and finished it completely, so it was awesome. Yeah, I didn't worry about getting a hero quest. I mean, one of the guys in our gaming group has the original with all the expansions, so the models are fine. They'll be okay. I'm just not in a rush. It'll come out at some point. If it's good, pick it up maybe for the models, maybe not. Yep. All of them. And I think we've only ever played vanilla. Oh, GT, can you tell me, am I streaming in 1080p tonight? I tried to change to 1080p instead of 720. Roger that. Oh, I've got an exciting show and tell planned for tonight. Yes, beautiful. Outstanding. Tobes, good to see you, pal. Coming to tomorrow's games. Coming to games tomorrow. Yes, good mate. I went and bought Maracaibo from the board game shop. Because why not? And yeah, we played some Spirit Island, some Rising Sun, 4-player Rising Sun. So yeah, good stuff. Yeah, you know me, mate. I want it, I got it. Chroma, what's happening, champion? Awesome guy. Yeah, we played yesterday. We played with Branch and Claw. I played with Sharp Fangs Behind the Leaves, and he was quite good. We were playing 3-player, and my board after the third turn had one space with invaders on it, and I basically just controlled it for the rest of the game, waiting for the other guys to catch up, occasionally tipping in with a little tsunami. Cheeky little tsunami. Oh, thanks Chroma, mate. Glad that you also caught me live. I don't know what time the right time is for me to stream for people in Europe or America, but I know the right time for me to stream is when I'm at home painting, so I'll probably just keep doing that. So if anyone has any questions about what's happening on my palette, I assume you can see palette cam relatively well. Yeah, the app's good, but yeah, I clocked a lot of games on the app, and then sort of got a bit bored with it, and then we played it on the table a few times, and I really liked it again. So just something about playing with some other people makes it a slightly better experience. You copped an ad, did you, GT? Yeah, I don't know. I think that's part of the affiliate dealio, mate. Like they start running ads on your stream because you've got more than 4 people watching. In theory, anyway. I doubt there's more than 4 people watching. Actually, I can check, can't I? Oh, 22 viewers. What's up? 22 are the best. Alrighty. I need a bit of magenta over here. Oh, what does that mean? Sus, good man, fan subscriber. Only payback since I subscribed to you on Patreon. Might as well just keep our money next time, eh? Jeffrey, my wet palette is indeed a custom wet palette. It cost me $6. I bought the container from the Coles, just around the corner from my house, when it was on sale at half price. So it was about $4. And then the foam is, hang on, I've got some here. Somewhere in here. Yes, here it is. This packet, black and got multi-brand, multi-purpose sponged cloths. That was $1. And then the Multix baking paper. So yeah, to be fair, this probably cost about $5, but I only use one sheet. I've had this roll for 3 years. So yeah, relatively cheap. Yeah, I find it does the job. And I actually tried the red grass palette, and I found it did the job better than that. So why not? Why not spend $6 instead of however much that one was? Cujo, how'd you go with your Mage Knight game the other day, mate? Who'd you play? Tell me it was Norrowas. Zomcob, hello friend. Cromer, I just leave mine, mate. In Australia it dries out in about a day and a half, so every couple of weeks or months I'll take it over the tap and squeeze out the sponges. I've heard you can add a little bit of detergent or dish soap or something into it and it stops it from getting mouldy, but I don't do that. Oh shit, too much water. Back. Yep, it is a snowballing game. You'll either get a nice little lead early and then you can ride that to success. If you don't have a good start, you'll often struggle to get the last city. When I bought Mage Knight the other week, when I say the other week, it was like July last year. Yeah, I cracked out 58 games of it in the first month of having it. Got pretty good at it actually. Oh, copper coin, eh? Toss a coin to your wet pallet. Yeah, it is a massive table hog. But yeah, I'm used to playing big table hogs. We played some bangers. We played Rising Sun yesterday. That took up a bit of table space. Yeah, true. Alright, so I think this thing's going to be metal, and this thing's going to be metal. And that's about it. I might go, do we go gold? We might try and do some glass on some of the things on our belt, Jeffrey. Brass or copper? I haven't done brass in a while. Mate, she's a successful witch. I'm sure people pay her heaps for her services. Look at her, she's got a cauldron and everything. The seven dwarves, Cujo. Yeah, I talked to her in my last stream. I've been a bit of a dickhead when it comes to Lucas sculpts, right? Because I love them so much, and yet he releases one every now and then, and I sometimes think to myself, yeah, I don't know if I really love it. Hey, I might just give this one a miss. Yeah, I'll give this one a miss. Save my bucks. Save them for some other models. And then invariably, like 2 months after everyone starts receiving them 2 months later, and I have mad regret. I'm like, why the fuck didn't I buy that? I'm such a peanut. And then I pay double or more from someone else in the aftermarket category. So, well, that's what I did with the dwarves. And I already asked someone if I could buy it, and he said yes, and it was double what he paid for it. And I said, okay. So there you go, bit of fun. Fucking Lucas kills me every time. Because I look at it and I go, yeah, it's not that interesting. The only one I sort of was happy with about my decision was the Alchemist. I don't know, for whatever reason I mean, it's a beautiful sculpt, but I couldn't think of an interesting thing to paint, so that one I haven't regretted. But that little sheep rider that Colwell just finished, I didn't get that one, and I'm spewing about that. And then that little dwarves, missed that one. Just a dickhead, really. Yeah, there's been heaps of great versions of that sheep rider guy. Oh, speaking of Raymond, do we want to see Raymond's model tonight on show and tell? Oh, celery's in quick there. COVID. Shouldn't joke, but every time we cough now we just say COVID. Hope no one's got COVID. To buy the 7 dwarves on eBay. Is that right, Jeffies? $460. Seems reasonably priced, doesn't it? Oh, come on, Jeffy. We don't need to go crazy, mate. $460 is ludicrous. Someone will have bought them and changed their mind. Oh, Alex Carey. Gone. Big wicket. Yeah, that's a fair call, mate. I'd probably come close to paying that for the Goblin King too. Wooden spoon, mate. She's poor, remember? You were telling me how poor she was. Alright. Let's get excited for tonight's show and tell. Here we go. Alright, I'll go and grab Raymond's. I wasn't going to do Raymond's, but I'll do Raymond's tonight. Hold by. Stand by. Alright, so first up on tonight's show and tell, we're going to look at a piece from Meg Maples. So I'll tell you a bit of a story about this piece. Most of my pieces have stories. So here we go, here's Meg's piece. So this is obviously the bust of Tywin Lannister. So about 5 years ago, almost to the day, I entered some models at Meg's painting competition that she runs at CanCon, which is called Crystal Dragon, and they were just some Guild Ball models that I'd painted for a team, but I was pretty chuffed with them. I thought they were Mad Dog, and it was my fisherman team, for what it's worth, if anyone remembers. And she gave me some really good feedback, and they didn't get a medal. And I signed up for a class that she was running in Brisbane a couple of months later, and I went along to her class, and this model was there on display, and I remember at the time it absolutely blew me away because of the how realistic the face looked. I remember thinking to myself, that is unbelievable. How do I learn how to do that? So, morning Flickster, you champion. So yeah, this model stuck with me, and Meg had it in her collection. She had it available for sale, but at the time I wasn't collecting artist models or anything. I just looked at it. But yeah, a few years after that, once I started getting into miniature painting for display a bit more seriously, I ended up sending her a message asking her if she would be interested in selling me this model, because it's the one that really stuck with me from that, and in many ways it's this model that started me on the display path. So pretty sentimental model for me, and yeah, I still love it. I think there's Meg's evolved as a painter since this model, but I really feel like this is a great example of her style. So there you go, Tywin Lannister. Let's see if we can zoom in on his melon. Oh, gone too far, didn't I? Come on, mate. There we go. Tywin Lannister. Yeah, it is true metallic metal, which is not something that we see a lot these days. But yeah, back in the day, that was all I ever did. I couldn't do non-metallic metal. To be fair, I still can't do non-metallic metal. So anyway, so that's the Lord of Lion, Tywin Lannister, by Meg Maples. So second cab off the rank for tonight, we have a piece by Roman Lepart of Massive Voodoo. So I spent a long time waiting for a piece for Roman's that I was going to buy, because I really love his approach to painting. I really love his style, but there was a few pieces he was doing that they weren't my aesthetic. Like I have a strong attention to attraction to fantasy style models, and don't really go too much for sci-fi. On occasion I do, but Roman was painting a lot of like Space Marines and weird shit. So anyway, and then he posted this picture, and so this is a double tap of magnificence, right? Because it's a Lucas sculpt, and it's a Roman paint job. And I really feel like this, Roman's been trying a lot of different things, but this one felt like it was going back to what sort of made him, popular is not the right word, but what made him as an artist. And so this, this is the piece I chose to purchase. I'll talk a few bits. I'm just having a beer. So, one of the things that I really appreciated on this model is the little dots. So he actually did those with a toothpick. He cut a toothpick down to shape and just did dot after dot after dot like that with a toothpick. That allowed him to get the consistency of dot size, which is one of the really impressive things. This red paint that you see in there is also pigments, so it's actually quite matte, and you do notice it in the hand how, even though the rest of the paint is quite matte, slightly satin, that this is very matte, and so it actually has a noticeable change from the skin tone to the paint that she's putting on there, whatever the fuck it is, I don't know. It's some sort of goopy mixture that she's putting on her melon. Yeah, headdress. Look at this detail in the back. I didn't know about that until I got the model, which is great. And there you go, Jarhead, the man. So yeah, let's zoom in on her face. It's really a wonderful sculpt and a wonderful paint job by Roman. There's a lot of really cool colours in the skin as well. There's a lot of greens in the skin, which I think is not sort of something I do enough of. Roman's obviously teaches colour classes and how to paint properly by mixing colours, whereas I just buy Vallejo premixes. So his understanding of the nuances of colour and how they interact on things like skin tones is awesome. So there's a look at the feathers. It is, yes, Lord McAllister, absolutely bang on, mate. Every time I stream, I've been doing a little show and tell of some models from my collection of artists that I like. So this is Roman Lepart's Witch Lady, Cup Lady. Yeah. There you go. So that's tonight's show and tell. Bang those out a little bit later on. Again, for people that join the stream late. Oh, thanks Flickster. Yeah, haven't really done too much, mate. Just started tonight. She hasn't had anything done on her since the last stream other than what I did tonight. Actually, GT, that is a consistent thing. It's called the leading hair, I believe. All brushes, sable brushes, have those to keep the other hairs in line. Normally I trim it off. Yeah, I haven't got around to it on this one. Or maybe I did and it's one that's kind of skewed. It's helped keep all the other bristles in line so they stop pulling shit. Cujo, get into the bust painting, mate. Stop doing shit little Kingdom Death models. Get into the real stuff. Awesome, Kung Fu. One of us. No, I'll tell you why, because I talk about this a lot. When you paint a bust or a display piece, you aren't painting it for anything other than to paint it. Whereas when you paint something like a gaming model or a army model or whatever, there's always a reason to do it, and then it becomes about the reason. It's like you're trying to finish it so that it's done for that reason. Whereas when I paint, I'm just enjoying painting, and so I think that's what busts really did for me, or miniature painting, display miniature painting in general. It just freed me up and made me feel like I could just paint for fun, and so that's what I do. I still enjoy painting gaming pieces and stuff because I've been able to develop that mindset of I just paint because I want to paint and I'm enjoying painting for pieces like my Kingdom Death and my other stuff. But there's still that element of it feels like I'm painting it for something. So, interesting observation. Anyway, where are you, beige red? Is that you? No? You little beige red? Oh, you're cork brown. Fuck, you'll do. That's a red. Yes, Flickster. It's probably the only thing I'm known for, mate. Is my speed. That is also true, mate. Very true. What a great podcast that was. We were talking the other week about bringing it back as a board game podcast. Because I play so many board games these days. Man, we talk about and the collared shirts, cheers. We talk about so many good board games these days because Mooksy's got into board gaming as well. So he's playing heaps of games, and I play a game pretty much every week, a new game every week. It feels like sometimes. My Board Game Geek gaming account, the thing I track my plays on, has been going off the last few years. Give me a home among the gum trees, with lots of plum trees. A sheep or two and a kangaroo, clothesline out the back, the reindeer out the front, and an old rocking chair. My favourite bit was actually the end credits. I just cut like an end bit of the song, but I always used to like that bit when it led into our glorious after credits action. An old rocking chair. So yes, I'm going to talk about Maracaibo tonight because I'm just frothing on it at the moment. I think I'm going to play the solo campaign maybe this week. I'll try to, depending on if I get time. Absolute banger, that one. Absolute banger, Maracaibo. It's made by Alexander Pfister, the guy who made Great Western Trail, which for those punters following at home would know came, I think it was number 3 on my best games of last year. Shit, can't even remember now. No, I think it was 3. Well, I can't think now. I know 1 was Mage Knight, 2 was Kingdom Death. Yeah, I think 3 was Great Western Trail. Anyway, it was a good game. Same guy made Maracaibo, and it's basically like a reskin of Great Western Trail. And probably the two shit things about Great Western Trail is it's about cows, and it's about cows. So the mechanics are great in Great Western Trail. It's really, really good, well-designed game, but yeah, the theme can sometimes be hard to get into. Whereas the theme in Maracaibo, you're pirates, or ship runners, or buccaneers, or merchants, or something in the Caribbean, and you're heading around to all the cities in the Caribbean, dropping off goods, recruiting people to join your team, and all this other shit. But it's got the same mechanics as, like the same way of structuring the game as Great Western Trail. So he's obviously tapped onto what he knows, or how to design games in that way, and it's just super legit. Oh, Jeffrey, you're the man. I should promote you to a moderator or something on my channel. I don't actually know how to do that, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it when I figure it out, how to do that. Cujo. Oh, spear rates, I'll come back to that, mate, because I agree. Cujo, I have tried Tainted Grail. I have. I got 2-wave shipping on it, so I played the first campaign through time and a half, and then yeah, awesome. That's right, TI and Rebellion. I couldn't remember the other 2. Yeah, I enjoyed. Hey Jan. I enjoyed Tainted Grail. As a solo player, I enjoyed it a lot. As a 2-player game, it felt a little bit lacking for me, and I think anyone trying to play it more than that would be having a laugh. But there is a lot of grinding in the game, and I just basically switched that out. There's a mode you can play called Story Mode, which removes a lot of the grinding, so I just did that, and yeah, really enjoyed it. Got through the story, loved the story. It's a cool retelling of King Arthur myth, and I'm excited. I've actually got the 2nd wave rocking up on my doorstep very soon. Thanks, Benny. Yeah, so if you can pick up a copy of the core game without paying through the roof, it's definitely worthwhile. It's a story. It's almost like a choose your own adventure book, though. The core combat mechanic is interesting, and it's nice building your deck. Yeah, I went very cold on Etherfield very quickly, actually. I played the first mission and I was like, oh, this is going to be awesome. So I went out and bought a copy, and then I played through about 12 dreams, I think. And by then I was just like, yep, I have seen everything this game has to offer. Oh yeah, it's either chapter 7 or chapter 8 where it shifts up a lot. Spear Oats, yeah, that's a cool book. I've never read it, but it sounds like a cool book. So I would completely agree with that statement. I fire up when people say, "Oh, you're so talented, man." Pisses me off. Don't say it to me, you clown. It's not talent. Spent the last 4 years dedicating myself to my craft. That is why you think I'm talented. The reason why it pisses me off so much, right, is because not only does it devalue the effort that I've put in, but it also makes other people think that they can't achieve that, like that it's a God-given gift or whatever being you worship or are born with, and it's just not. I mean, there are certainly people who start with a better base to build from in terms of their hand-eye coordination or whatever else, but it's all learnable skill. So by saying, "Oh, you're so talented," it makes other people think they don't have the ability to achieve that, and that pisses me off. I am very tall. People who haven't met me in real life wouldn't know that. Big Deno. I do have a natural talent for being a magnificent Twitch streamer. That's a fair play. Yeah, fair play. Fair play, mate. I'll allow it in that context. Talent. Twitch streaming talent right here. Yeah, you're not that much less should have been, so keep going, champ. But yeah, Cujo, that's absolutely spot on, mate. There's a fun story I'll tell you, but not many people probably know this one. But in Australia, there's not a lot of snow, not a lot of winter sports happen. And there was this chapo who was a speed skater. Can't fucking remember his name now. What's his name, Jeffy? You know the one I'm talking about. Anyway, so he got to the Winter Olympics for speed skating, and he actually got through, all the way through to the final. But he was against some nations that actually have snow, and they're actually good at skating. Bradbury, that's it, Stephen Bradbury, I just remembered, yeah, on your Spear Oats. And yeah, so he's getting absolutely smashed in the final. He's running fourth by a country mile. And old mate in first place is rounding the final bend, and he slips over and he cleans up number 2 and 3. And Bradbury, who was about 30 metres behind, just slides over the line, arms up like this, wins the gold medal. And everyone's like, "Oh, you didn't really win the medal, mate. You didn't really win the gold medal, you dickhead. Everyone else lost. They were clearly the better skater." And he said, "I'm not taking this medal because of what happened on that day. I'm taking it for the last 4 years of practice and effort and energy that I've put into getting to this event. That's why I deserve to win the gold medal." So I quite like that. I quite like that sentiment, and I think it's good mentality to have. Yeah, you can look it up. I don't remember what year it was. It was the Winter Olympics, so I don't pay much attention to them normally. He's an odd cat though, old Bradbury. Turned into a bit of an odd cat after that. probably always was. Yeah, that's right, mate. That's right, Speary. And that's, that's people that see a 30-second video clip of Bradbury winning a gold medal because everyone else falls down probably go, oh, that guy's a dickhead. He was probably up every day, 5 a.m. training in ice skating in Australia. Like, that's the thing, he's doing ice skating in Australia. What an absolute peanut. Like, seriously, mate, pick a sport that's relevant in your country of birth, you idiot. Yeah, he trained in Queensland. There's not even a place you can go to in Queensland where there's snow. It's like the stupidest sport. Yeah, Jamaican bobsled team. Exactly. Great film. Hey, Sanka, you want to kiss my lucky egg? Great film. Great film. So this will be interesting question. Has anyone else had some Scale 75 inks for a few years and had them start to react poorly to being used? I'm finding when I put some of my Scale 75 inks, specifically the wood and chestnut, that I'm putting them on my wet palette and they're basically separating almost straight away. Bit annoying. Don't trouble yourself, Flickster. Don't leave the stream, mate. Enjoy the stream. Just relax, pal. Kick back. Enjoy some quality Australian entertainment. Where do we want our eyes, actually, before I do that? Where do we want them to be? Yeah, good, mate. I don't want you to do it right now. That'd be ridiculous. Alright, cauldron, okay. Fair play, Cujo. Fair play, mate. Yeah, I didn't have any problems with him for like the first 2 years or whatever. Jeffy, calm down, mate. I'm not finished yet, mate. Jeff's gone off early here, has he? Maybe I won't make you a moderator, you idiot. Good. Well, if Ben thinks Jeff will make a good mod, that is an ironclad guarantee that it will never ever happen. Oh, that's a while back now. I did do some good eyes on them actually. Oh, come on you. Come on you. You can do it. Focus. You can do it. Do 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 do. They're okay, Jeff. You're an idiot. They're good, mate. So this is model I painted on stream. Started on stream the other night. So we're what are we at now? Yeah, so we're at 4 hours on this Chicky Babe. Haven't done anything else on her. Better get some of my favourite skin colour. Oh, thanks, Benny. Appreciate that, mate. It's going okay. We'll continue to tweak that as we finish various bits and pieces on this guy. We'll tweak the skin tone. Oh look, the Three Witches, they're my one. You ever see the movie Gone in 60 Seconds? They're my Eleanor. I don't know if I'll ever be able to paint them. Coming up with all the banger movie quotes tonight. What a film, what a film. Young Angelina Jolie, Nicolas Cage at the peak of his powers, such as they are. Great film. I legitimately love that film, actually. Like, can't get enough of it. And another one that's right up there with me is, right up there for me is the 13th Warrior. Terrible film, love it, love it. Lo there do I see my father. I'm a bit of a tragic for terrible films though. Love them. Why is a raven like a writing desk, I wonder? There's actually a raven. Finn, if you're still on, mate, can you answer that? You're a bird specialist, aren't you? On a magpie, Jeffrey. Alright, need to crack another beer, friends. It is actually a public holiday in Australia tomorrow. I don't normally crack a beer on a Monday night. It's a school night. GLMR Rose. G'day, mate. I'm painting this this little witch. Here she is. So this is my method for painting black. All right. I'm pretty ordinary at doing black. Pretty ordinary at it. So I do a cheater's method. I do plan on streaming regularly. G'day, Paul S. This is an over-contrasted area, very contrasted. So I am going to mix up a little bit of the old GW contrast paint. I'm going to use contrast paint to reduce that contrast. Boom, boom. And then I'll try and probably do some airbrush on it later as well. So I've gone green. This is a Achillean green contrast colour. Just to add a little bit of colour into the black. I'm going to do a couple of different coats. Paul S, what's happening, mate? Cheers, Paul. No, I'm a mad keen energy drink participant. I'm all about them energy drinks. And also I'm pretty high energy human in general. A few people on the stream can attest to that. Love a cheeky contrast paint, hey? Well, I feel, because if I couldn't have caffeine, I think I would cease to function. Unlucky, Paul. Well said, chicken man. So if anyone has any questions about life in general, or painting toy soldiers, feel free to throw them at me. can multitask reasonably well. Oh, that's a piece of shit. Highlight skin, gone. Ooh, look at that shit. Yuck. Jeffrey, you're always welcome to us, mate, but I don't think there's much you and I haven't already discussed in our lives. I don't know what's going to take for me to paint the three witches, Jeffy. I think I'll just reach a point one day where I feel like I have enough confidence to tackle them. But, yeah, I don't know. Benny, good question, mate. There hasn't been many, actually. Hasn't been many that I have felt out of my depth on. There's one or two though. I painted Chimera models piece called Eliumbra and the Hashoma, and it was done by Kirill Knaeve, the box art. Absolutely unreal. If you've never seen it. And yeah, I felt I tried to do a big. I was probably the first really big project I tried to do. G'day Knuckers, thanks mate. And what a fucking legendary name that is too. Yeah, the Eliumbra and the Hashoma, Benny. If you have a look at the box art by Kirill, it's just unbelievable. And then I tried to create this lava base. I tried to do this cold warm thing. It was like the first time I did a project that was sort of more than one model, I think, on reflection. Probably paved the way for me to do some of the stuff I'm doing more recently. Yeah, that's it. So I think it was about halfway through that I just realised I just didn't have the skills to do what I was trying to do with that model. So I did my best. Came out okay. But yeah, was not my best work. And then there's been models all the way along that I've felt not much chop off. I can usually pull them together by the end of the paint job, but at various points halfway through, I often think that I've bitten off more than I can chew. So, Paul Figone is a fun guy. He's a lovely dude. He's an artist. He rides a bicycle around, and he just picked up his bicycle and went to Morocco and like disappeared for like 3 months once. Superstar. But yeah, he's not a reliable shipper of his products, and his website doesn't account for what's in stock and what's not in stock. So he's not normally my first recommendation, but he does have quite a broad selection, so he's okay. El Greco Miniatures in the UK is one that I've used with a lot of success. Very reliable, sent to Australia. Wouldn't recommend them at the moment. Classic Brexit times. So I normally order direct from manufacturers these days. My favourite manufacturers are Black Sun, Black Crow, Chimera, Nico Galaxy, Mindworks, Spirimidabilis. But if you are in Australia, there is a new website that just came out called Stonebeard, who's ordered in stuff and bought them into Australia. So you can possibly try him if you want something straight away. Well, you picked a shit one to look as my first model, Benny. That one's rubbish. Oh, you're very welcome, Denny. No. It's a no from me, Jeff. I have done Candy Chan, yes. Tell you what, let's do a little bit of fun streaming magic and I'll bring it up on screen. How good's that? Because I can do that. Because I'm a mad Twitch streamer. Just give me a few moments. One moment, please. One moment, please. Oh, Ben, come on now. Don't be that guy. Nah, we're on lockdown tonight. We are on lockdown tonight. Big Deno, on fire. Alright. Here she comes. I'm using my fancy studio mode, so you can't see it yet until I click this. What? There you go, Candy Chan, Nico Galaxy. So I'll actually prep a second picture for you in a moment because I can't prep a second picture because I haven't reactivated my Putty and Paint Plus account. Anyway. There you go. So I actually there's 3 light sources on that model. You can't see the back at the moment because I haven't subscribed to Putty and Paint this year yet. But there was the front light from the top, which was like a white light, and then the blue light from underneath, and then there's a magenta light coming from behind. I'd actually just taken a bit of a break from painting. And that was my first paint job that I did back after that little break. And yeah, she was mostly painted with Chimera paints and Nocturna paints. So yeah, she was done in April 11th, 2019. Yeah, there you go. Oh, look at the skills on Twitch. Shit. That's why they made me the affiliate, guys, because of shit like that. Too good. Skills that pay the bills. Thanks, Flickster. Could have done it without you, mate. Oh. Your next bust, Cujo. Don't you mean your first bust or your next bust? I'm excited to see you paint a bust, mate. What bust have you painted? I can't recall. Yeah, Benny, my issue with that link is that my when you're a plus member on Putty and Paint, you can show up to 12 or 15 photos in a video, and if you're not a plus, then you can only show 4 photos. So I think I took like 10 photos of that model, and then yeah, they're not on there. Unlucky. That's okay, buddy. It's just, this is reasons why I continually rag on you on stream. Yeah, that guy is a superstar. His name is Pietrek. He's from Poland, and yeah, he came over to Australia with Kaha for her painting class because his English is a little bit better than hers. So he was just there to sort of help out, and they're friends. And yeah, so they stayed at my house. He's an amazing guy. Incredible painter too, actually. If you want to, he does his painting under Dexter Painting Studio or something like that. Yeah, he's very good, very good. Ah, yes, the pig guy. That's a cool model. Sort of, that was well before my time, before I got into display painting. So great film figure. Great film actually. Porco Rosso. Kung Fu, mate. Got to get into it, pal. Got to get into it. Got to have a crack. The airbrush glazing, we're going to do some of that soon. It's much like everything in this hobby, it is a skill that you have to practice. It will take you some time. Probably the trickiest part about airbrushing in general is the lack of a tactile response. So when you're doing this with a brush, you get used to the feeling of the brush contacting the surface of the model, even if it's only very minor sensations, particularly on a smaller brush. You get to feel that springy response through your hands, and so you get used to that feeling. But with an airbrush, you don't get any response other than your trigger, and so you don't get to have the feeling of when the paint's hitting the model and be able to control that. So you tend to get shit flying everywhere until you get a bit practiced with it. Oh, Cujo, let me have a look at these, pal. I'm going to look right now. Ah, cool. I do remember you painting that actually. Porco Rosso. Back before you were popular. Before you sold out to Patreon. Ah, that was yours. I do remember that anonymous bust. Cujo's a sellout now, he's on Patreon. Inevitably I'll be on Patreon at some point, Cujo, no doubt. So don't worry, mate, I'm just teasing you. Fuck, what colour are birds' eyes? Benny, you don't know me in real life, mate. Hello, awesome guy. Thank you for convincing me to sell out. You've done a great job. Yes, Benny, you don't know this in real life. I am exactly the same as I am online, exactly the same as I am on this video. I spend the majority of my time bagging other people. Fen the bird expert, here we go. Is it a raven, pal? I did ask you that before. I might have missed your response. Is it a raven? Flink! Dr. Flink. Joins us for another glorious stream. You sliced your finger. Good for you, pal. Yep. Well, it was shit. You can do better than that, and you didn't. All right. Chum Dabs, the man, the myth, the legend. This is a Lucas Pina sculpt. It is Spira Mirabilis is the brand. I don't remember this chick, but Lucas sculpted this one because he had a lot of people complaining that they couldn't access his Baba Yaga model, which was the first, I think, major sculpt that he released. There's only 37 ever made. 37 made of that. People who've got copies of those, they sure are lucky, aren't they? Indeed, same dude as did the witches, the 3 witches. Oh shit. How do you like them apples, Cujo? Second-hand market, champ. I wasn't even painting display models back then. Oh look. While we're on the topic of just showing off my Lucas Pina sculpts, I love this. This is like my favourite thing about these sculpts. Here's the 3 witches as well. Cujo, you like them apples? How do you like them apples? You can, pal. You got a collared shirt on tonight, as always. There you go. Just a lovely little blue number. Kmart, $10. So what I like, one of the things I like most about his stuff is that he changes up the boxes for each of his releases, which is great. But this one is so wildly oversized compared to everything else he's ever done. Like the 3 witches comes in this box, and Baba Yaga, well you can't really see that, I'll zoom out. The 3 witches comes in this box, and Baba Yaga comes in this box. Doesn't make a lot of sense, but oof, feel the quality. Oof, get in there, girl. Shit. Oh yeah, I think that's Irene does. She puts a little bit of smelly stuff in there for him when she packs them, because they pack them together, I think. Little family business. 7 dwarfs would be good. Yes, I would like to get the 7 dwarfs. Yeah, the round wooden box for the elf dude was awesome. Ah, Lucas. Yeah, so this chick is his version of the Baba Yaga that everyone could buy, basically, because yeah, everyone wanted to buy it and no one could. So I'm pretty close to doing some airbrushing again, I think, if anyone's interested in watching that. But before we do airbrushing, we're going to do a little bit of this leather. Barbie Yaga does need her space. What a good girl. Look, Fen, probably the main thing that I think people get wrong with airbrushing is they go too heavy with their paint. Treat it like an undercoat machine. Usually is what people do to begin with, and they're like, wow, it's so smooth and amazingly smooth undercoat, wow. And then my experience with an airbrush, which isn't probably as much as some, tells me that you're far better off using significantly less paint and doing several thin coats, because it takes basically the same amount of time anyway. So yeah, if you're struggling with airbrushing, the most obvious answer I would say is it's because you're trying to go too thick with your paint, but that's just a generic statement. I'm sure you're not an absolute peanut, mate, and you know how to diagnose your problems. Chum Dab, good question, mate. Honestly, this I didn't go into this one with a specific plan. I just wanted to paint something on stream, and this was one that jumped out at me to paint. I've probably been experimenting with different skin tone colours than I normally would, but yeah, no real thing I'm trying to take away from this other than trying to troubleshoot my stream and make sure it's looking good and all that sort of gear. Speaking of troubleshooting, Fen, mate, unlucky. Just get better at fixing your shit. Oh mate, green's probably my favourite colour actually to paint. I don't have the musical Fawns Jan, sorry for missing that, pal. I wish I got them, but I did not. And someone else said, Australian painter Red Stag. G'day mate. Yes, in beautiful Brisbane. It's a lovely day today in Brisbane. Day before a public holiday. Can't wait. Have a beer. Have a Kit Kat. Chum Dab, the biggest troubles I've had learning to stream? None. It's been very straightforward. There's a massive amount of great information on the internet. If you take your time and read it and have sufficient cash money to buy the things that you need to do it properly, you're fine. I mean, there's been a learning curve for me, obviously. This is, I think, my 6th or 7th stream, and yeah, I'm still learning how to do various bits and pieces, and struggling to keep my fucking camera positioned on the model sometimes, like just then, like a peanut. But yeah, there is cricket on, yes. It's the Sydney Thunder versus the Adelaide Strikers tonight. Important game for my team, the Brisbane Heat. They need to win this one. The Heat need one of these two teams to lose, so there are good chances of that happening. But a draw is actually not good. Hey, too easy! Woohoo! Yeah, if they have a draw, which is actually a possibility because it's raining, so there might be a no result. I think that knocks the Heat out if that comes up, so that would be bad. But if one team wins, then we're in good shape. All we need to do is beat the team that's on top of the ladder to make it into the finals. Not gonna happen. No, not gonna happen. Yeah, the camera angle has been something I've been trying to just get perfect, and I'm pretty comfortable with where I'm at now. But I don't know, there'll always be that feeling that the camera's just slightly in the way. Although I've got a pretty choice tripod rig now, so I have full freedom of movement with my hands, which I like. Did you play at GoldCon, did you? Did you give Simon a spray? Just existing as a human being. Simon and I have been friends for many, many years. We actually met at a tournament called DogCon back in the many moons ago, 2000s. He and I have been friends since then. Tui, that was actually Intensity Chestnut, but I am going to probably do a little bit of contrast paint to that as well, I think. We're going to do some contrast airbrushing now. We're going to do some airbrushing. Let's do some airbrushing, friends. How are we going for time? Wow, it's been an hour and 40 minutes. Time just flies by when you're having fun, doesn't it? My beer's in the way. Fuck. Go over there, beer. Yeah, it was rubbish. Rubbish, Jeffrey. I'm going to zoom out a smidge here. That's probably too much. There we go. So I'm going to try and remember, I always forget this, just to show how much gear or stuff I put in there. So this is a contrast colour called Shyish Purple. So got a little bit of brush full there. So I'll just I'm going to grab a little paper towel just in case anyone's interested in seeing the actual consistency. Just pop this up here. So this is how much colour I've got coming out of my airbrush at the moment. It's not farting, mate. At least I don't think it is. No, it just switches on and off. So I think I showed this last time, but I'll show it again. Why not? This is how I clean it. Pay attention here, Fen. So that's just a little bit of airbrush cleaner. So I get a little synthetic brush in there and squidge it around. Then do a bit of backflow just to kick all the paint out. And then spray the rest out. And then to follow up, I do a bit of water and just do a bit of the old same gear. I do that after most colours, not every colour, because I work with such thin colours, I don't need to necessarily clean it out as much. So that reduces the need to disassemble and clean, which is a bit depressing sometimes. Awesome guy, my man. I thin those paints down with a mixture that I make myself. It is some airbrush thinner from Vallejo, and it is also some water, and it is also a tiny bit of flow improver, also from Vallejo. So relatively straightforward. I think I talked about this a little while back. The reason I use a combination of those things is I have felt like just the thinner doesn't give me quite as much too much dilution sometimes. When I do the water, it's not enough dilution. So by combining them, I feel like I get a nice mixture. Yeah, it's just a feel thing. Can't really explain sort of the specifics of that, but it just feels like the right mixture for me. So celery subscription. Cool. Am I supposed to do something when that happens? I don't know. Not that good at Twitch, I guess. Never know what to do. So this one's Vallejo red leather. I know what you're up, Chum Dubs. I know what you're about, mate. You just want to see the shirt. I'm on to you, pal. Supposed to dance. Alright. I shan't be doing it. I shan't be doing it. Flickster, the man. Wow, you guys are so good. Think about poor little Big Deno, just sitting at home painting by himself, and now he's got like 4 people watching him. The best. Thanks, Flickster. We're never going to be wildly successful miniature painters in the Twitch streaming world, I don't think, but as long as I can share some knowledge, that'd be good. They already have, mate. When you sign up to be an affiliate, they get your bank details from you then. So fun color theory thing here. So there's a lot of green light, and as probably most of you would know, the complementary color of green is red, but red is a spectrum of colors, and an orangey red still counts as a red. So part of the reason why I'm doing orangey reds for the clothing is just so it contrasts with the green light coming from below. So Meg Maples taught me about colour theory in her first class. I'd obviously done some other colour theory gear, but her first class that I did, she's talked about how pink and lime green are still green and red, just in slightly different saturations. So that will still work for contrasting colours in the same way. Oh, fuck if I know. Maybe. Possibly. Yes, Chum Dabs. What you're doing is, I'll come back to that in a second. Celery, the Games Workshop Blood for the Blood God paint is actually very, very good. Or Tamiya X27 are the two things I use. I've got both of them here, I think. That's all you'll ever need for blood effects, those two. One's slightly darker, one's slightly redder. Chum Dabs, yeah, so I'm going to talk pretty broadly here because this is a topic that I speak about in my little shitty painting class that I did. The objective of painting miniatures is to create something that's interesting and pleasant to look at. And the way that you do that is you create contrast. However, when you talk about contrast, many people take that word to just mean value contrast, so the contrast between light to dark. But there's actually a variety of contrasts. You also have contrast between two colours. You can have contrast between saturated versus desaturated. You can have contrast between big and small, textured and smooth, and you can also have contrast between cold and warm colours. So by using cold highlights and warm shadows, or vice versa, what you're doing is you're creating a contrast which is adding more visual interest. So the term contrast, if you look it up in the dictionary, is the juxtaposition of two strikingly different elements. Boom, there you go. And so by using those two elements, cool and warm, on the same volume, you are creating contrast within that space, which makes it more interesting to look at. So there are other reasons to do that as well, but that's the main one. Thank you. Thanks, Chum Dubs. Yep. A little something to what I can do. Yeah, so it's a thing that you'll see a lot of painters do is cold highlights, warm shadows, or vice versa, because it creates more visual interest when you look at the model. It isn't something I guess consciously do a lot of, and I think if you want to get better at display painting, probably what I would suggest is you stick with cold shadows and warm highlights as a general rule, because cold colours tend to recede and warm colours tend to pop forward. So if you go for cold shadows, you're more likely to have your shadows look like there's more depth, more contrast, because they'll recede in your eye and the warm colours will pop forward. So that's a topic I could talk about for probably about 2 hours, but I'll leave it there. Suffice to say, it isn't something I do a lot of, but I would like to do some more of. Yep. Mate, colour theory and all of that stuff is pretty interesting, and there's a lot of applications to it. Yes, Aries is an aggressive choice for a display painting piece. It is a very elaborate model. Did you buy it from IF, by the way? Boy, can you not be a dickhead? Because seriously, I told fucking Johnny I was going to buy that one, and now I can't because you just bought it. You are an absolute dickhead. What an absolute fuckwit you are, Chumdubs. I am very unhappy with that. I have to buy my own copy now from Chimera or something. Oh shit, I think I've just made an egregious error. I did. Let's see if I can correct that. So the egregious error that I just made is mixing in the chestnut ink that had started to separate into small pigments into my airbrush. Oh yes, I'm not happy with that. Oh dear. See if we can clean that out. That is a dog act. That is a fucking dog act, chum dabs. Tell you what. Next time I see you, I'm going to give you a pat on the back and say thanks for enjoying my stream, mate. And then punch you right in the mouth for buying that model, you idiot. Yeah, it is Johnny's fault for selling it. But I didn't say put it out the back for me, I'll buy it next time I'm there. I just said I'm going to buy that, thinking that Big Deno was the only bloke in Brisbane buying display models to paint. Because it has been me, the only one in Brisbane for like 8 years. A little bit of a term of endearment, a little bit of a term of that guy's an idiot. Alright, we're going to try something pretty flash right now. I'm going to try something pretty flash indeed. Let's see if I can make it happen. I'm going to use a little bit of this. It's a white ink from Daler and Rowney. Don't use it a lot. I'm going to try and do some glass bottle highlights. Let's see how that goes. Hey, Badger! Badger, 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 badger. Ooh. It's going very well, I think. I'm about to try something pretty challenging. Paul, my good friend, do not purchase from AliExpress. AliExpress is a recasting service. Recasters are scum of the earth. And the reason I say that is because this particular model, sculpted by Lucas Pina, is his only source of income. Every every time you buy a recast, none of the money is going to the artist who created it. So don't do it. Don't do it. Yes, many people don't know about that being the case. Part of the problem is that many people don't. And look, and that's part of the reason why the recast market exists, Jeffy, is because this model was a limited edition. You now can't buy it unless you want to pay 4 times the markup on eBay, or you're willing to buy it from a recaster. Some manufacturers have simply stopped selling their products to Russian and Chinese buyers. That's where the majority of recasting takes place, in those 2 locations. Yeah. Do you, Jeff? Do you know? We're going to do a little bit of AK interactive varnish right now. Yeah, I mean, many people that I've spoken to that have been trying to get into display painting just don't realise how prevalent it is. You know, AliExpress is just, how is it that people haven't twigged that it's a recast site? But yeah, and that's no criticism, Paul. Don't stress, mate. I'm not going to fucking lambast you online any more than I already have. Yeah, it's just about education. Get more people aware of recasting, and that's a difficult question, Kramer. I don't have a good answer for that. I mean, I personally, I think if a model's limited edition like the Three Witches, I had an opportunity to buy the Three Witches in recast, and I chose not to. If it was a limited edition and you missed out, I think that's just the luck of the game. But yeah, there's certainly times I can understand someone deciding to go down that path. The Three Witches is one. Well, the good news with Lucas Pina's sculpts these days, he actually does it over a time period. He has his pre-orders available for 48 hours, and if you want a copy, you buy it in that time frame, and he ships them out usually 2 months after that. But if you try to buy it after that, you are shit out of luck. In the past, he actually used to do a limited number of copies. So for the most recent witch model, Mama Booho, which is a witch lady like this, but with heaps of owls, every motherfucker and their dog jumped on there to try and buy him, and I think he sold out in about 3 hours. He only had 140 copies planned, and he had some email fuck-ups, and so he ended up getting something like 350 orders in that 2-hour period, and because he couldn't confirm who had given them sequentially because of his emails fucked up, he ended up producing 350, and I think he realised at that point that he might be better off not limiting his quantity, because there was a lot of people who wanted to buy, and it was a lot of money. So yeah, just go and follow him on his Instagram page. Spira Mirabilis is his name. Yeah, Lucas is my favourite physical sculptor. I have a favourite digital sculptor, which is Charles Adrius, if you're interested. But yeah, Lucas, his sculpts are sublime, out of this world, really. A studio tour. Can probably do that right now, actually. I'll just pick up my webcam. Not much to see. It's just a desk. Are you coming on to me, chummed up? Is that what's happening here? Am I misreading this? Are you actually trying to get amongst Big Deno? I am, Paul. Yes, I will do another show and tell, mate. I did it a little bit earlier, but I'll do another one for everyone very shortly. Alright, let me just do this little doobie, and then I'll do some show and tell. Actually, I'll do two little doobies. Alright, let's do some show and tell. It's my favourite time of the night, when we get to look at some good artwork for a change. Ah, shit, get off there. And then I'm going to glue this this cauldron on too. Benny went straight in there, mate, the next day. Great piece of advice from Big Deno there. Get into the Kmart blocks. All right, here we go. So for those who haven't participated in show and tell yet, every stream so far, I'm going through models from my collection of artists I admire, and just showing off their piece of work that I purchased from them. So this is a piece of artwork from Meg Maples, formerly of Privateer Press, currently of Arcane Paintworks, residing in Australia. And there's a bit of history behind this model, so I'll tell the story again very quickly. I met Meg at the painting competition in CanCon called Crystal Dragon, and after doing particularly shithouse at that event, I attended a class of hers a few months later, and this was the model that really blew my mind. So it is obviously Tywin Lannister, played by Charles Dance from Game of Thrones. Incidentally, the Lannisters have the shittest house words, and the best house words are the House Baratheon. So, bit of fun for that. Fun fact. And actually, probably shittier than the Lannisters is the Tyrells. The worst. So this model, when I did the class, it just I wasn't even interested in buying models then, but I remember this model just stuck with me the whole time. And about 2 years down the track after that class, I asked Meg if she was interested in selling it, and she said absolutely she would sell it to me. It is true metallic metals, and let's zoom in on his melon because it's an absolute ripper. Charles Dance, Tywin Lannister. Jeff, you're out wide because House Tyrell's words suck. Just in case you don't know what House Tyrell's words are, they're called growing strong. That's House Tyrell's house words. How rubbish. Baratheon is, ours is the fury. Great house words. So that's Meg's, very sentimental piece for me. And Meg's probably one of the main people that set me on the path of painting display models. So the second model I'm showing off tonight is by Roman Lepart, and Stewie, I think I talked about this in a couple of streams ago, but I went over to Germany and did a class in the massive voodoo studio. It wasn't with Roman, it was with Rafa, who's the other guy who does it. And I actually didn't even get to meet Roman. He wasn't there at the time. He was off holidaying. So, but I got to see a few of his works, and he's obviously been a huge inspiration for me over the last few years. So I desperately wanted a piece of his from his in my collection, but I'm also quite particular with the models I buy. I want them to be representative of the artist and what they're good at, but I also want them to be something that I love, like it resonates with me. Obviously, I don't just want to buy something just so I have that artist's work. I want it to be something that I love, and this is the first model that Roman did in a little while that I absolutely fell in love with. So this is Spira Mirabilis Sculpt from Lucas Pina. So that's a double whammy of awesome shit. This is another one of Lucas's old ladies, and he's just the best at doing old lady sculpts. But yeah, he a lot of green colours in there. It's beautiful. These little dots, which are so meticulous, are all done by a toothpick. You actually trim down a toothpick and then pop the toothpick on one after the other. He actually did them in white first. Did white toothpick dots, and then he glazed over with various colours. I know because I asked him how he did it. Yeah, and then there's a few like really nice subtleties that you don't see unless you have it in the hand. And one of them is this stuff that's in a little pot is very, very matte, and so the rest of the model's got like a slightly satin finish, but this is super matte, so it actually just has a different feel to it. So yeah, that's the back. I didn't even know I had that when I bought it. So, we're going to go close up here. Ooh. Ooh. Look at it go. Here's a little close up of the feathers. So yeah, this piece, it was really satisfying. Yeah, I definitely bought it after. I think I bought it in 2019, last year I bought it. Bought a lot of my models last year that I have in my collection. Oh shit, it's 2021. I bought it 2 years ago. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, Roman's one of the miniature artists that probably have shaped the hobby in many ways for the last few years. I mean, Massive Voodoo is such a big site for people, just for a repository of knowledge, and yeah, it's really nice to have one of his works. I'm pretty pleased that I have this, and as I showed the other night on stream, I have one of Rafa's as well, which is great. And yeah. Yeah, the beading, there is some uniformity to it, like, and when I say that, because you use a toothpick, you know, he doesn't have to worry about his brush circle, you know, being larger and looking irregular. They're all circles, but yeah, the toothpick shape and it changes slightly. So there's a lot of consistency to it, but at the same time, he's got that variability as well, which is neato. Let's glue this little lady's cauldron on, shall we? Alright, another secret from Big Deno coming up right here. It's going to blow your minds. Or not. It's actually not that big of a secret. So I use this gear, zip kicker, to help adhere things quickly so I can keep painting quickly. Done. Sometimes a zip kicker goes off, which will then have a reaction with paint, which you can actually see here, which is not a pro tip, so definitely don't do this. This is particularly suboptimal. You can see there the paint's actually started to peel away. So the way we're going to fix that, yes, I have actually had this issue before, is I'm actually going to just take that paint off and start again. Not a big concern, really. Very few things you can do to your model that you can't ever fix. Although I don't recommend this as a general rule. Now look, it's about fun. I said this before. You gotta have fun, right? Sometimes you fuck up. That's okay. Fuck up all the time. And as I'm sure you've been observing on stream, I fuck up all the time. So that's okay. We'll just fix it. That's it, Dr. Flink, you got it. We don't make mistakes. We just have happy accidents. That was a great audio version of that, done by some dude on the internet. A song version of Bob Ross. I actually have it on my phone as a pump-up song. We don't make mistakes. We just have happy accidents. Did you? Ah, lovely. It's true though. It's just all about how you approach it. I mean, this is probably going to actually be beneficial. Every day's a good day when you paint. This is your world, you're the creator. Find freedom on this canvas. Believe that you can do it, 'cause you can do it. Fuck you. Yeah. Not a big deal, not a big deal. Just another chance to do some cool painting. What's up, chumdaps? You gotta go and look it up on YouTube. I can't remember the name of it. It's like, what's that guy's name? Songify? Songify Bob Ross? I can't remember. Is this shit supposed to be liquid? I don't really know. Oh, Mousy, my good friend. I'm assuming I know you, and if not, that's okay. I feel like I know you. I'll happily serenade any time. Good one, Flickster. Classic tunes. This is your world. You're the creator. That was a pretty shit camera angle, wasn't it? Alright, sorry. Ah, chum dabs. Suck it up, son. Could be worse. Could be at work. Make love to the canvas. Give a little touch, give a little push. Make love to the canvas. There's one great thing about life in this time, and that is just great videos on the internet. Alright, Flickster, coming back your way, mate. How do I refund it? I've got no idea. But I will. I'll get on there and do it straight away. No, you deserve it, pal. You deserve it for all the help you've given me. Give me that $5. Tell you what, maybe I'll just send you a model instead. Done. Oh, Chumdad, did you get Ultra Matte from Irresistible Force? Yeah, because I went there the other week and they sold out of that fucker as well. So it's you. You are responsible for my hobby fucking failings at the moment. I am holding you personally responsible for me not getting Ultra Matte the last time I went to my hobby shop of choice. And stealing a model I was going to paint. What a dickhead. What an absolute dickhead you are. Oh, everywhere's got stock issues, but yeah, we're certainly struggling at the moment. Yep, I use Ultra Matte for that exact reason, Flickster. As you saw, I'm using liberally contrast paints and a variety of other paints that all have varying degrees of finish, and Ultra Matte cleans it up. That Ammo MIG, Dr. Flink, I'll have to check that out. Yeah, I haven't had as much success with Vallejo Varnish. Good win by the Thunder. I'm happy about that. The Brisbane Heat is still alive. For anyone following at home in the cricket. Ah, that's thinking, Rumble. That's the way to do it. Oh, Fen, you're still hanging around. Yes, I varnished several times through my paint. As everyone observing this stream would probably have seen. Oh, see you, Celery. Thanks for stopping by, mate. Good luck in life. Whoa, sorry about that, friends. Bumped my camera grabbing a paint. You're talking about the Corvid conspiracy from the board game Root, or are you talking about the actual species of bird, Corvids? Cool. You do enjoy your birds, don't you, friend? Good for you. I like people who are passionate about things. you're painting them, the little meeples, or did you print some of the because I saw a dude sculpted the buildings. I assumed he was going to sculpt some little models as well. Yeah, cool. Cool. I vaguely recall seeing the cat one, I think. And yeah, I remember thinking it was awesome. Alright, so as a slightly ghetto way of fixing this shit that's happening down here, we're just going to do another varnish, but we're going to use a Vallejo matte varnish. It's a bit thicker than the AK, so I find it creates more of a protective seal. The AK doesn't really do much for protection in my experience, generally. But the Vallejo creates a bit of a thicker seal, so. Paul's just found the old Adolf Hawk. Bit of fun. I sure do remember the first bust I painted Badger, and I will quite happily show it to you very, very soon, because I still have pictures of it on somewhere, I think. We'll find out. Oh look, it's okay, I think. What is fascinating is that model took me a week and a half of painting almost non-stop when I wasn't working, much to the chagrin of my, at the time, wife. So I'm just doing that that varnish there to try and seal that area where we had the little fuck up with the accelerant. Alright, let's load up Jessica Thunderhawk from Scale 75, if we can find it. I think I've got it. Stand by. Surely do. Alright. It's going to appear on screen. Boom! Tech Maestro. Yeah, so I mean, she's okay. Look, there's two things that I've noticed straight away. That's a very, very bad photo because I've just kept all of the plinth in. And also the plinth is awfully sized for that model. Let me just increase that so you can actually see what the photo of her actually looks like. There we go. That's a bit better. So yeah, I spent about a week and a half on this model, and I remember it just, I was putting so much effort and energy into it, and it was the first bust I painted, appropriate, I think, for the bust on said bust. Yeah, scale 75, it's a 1 to 12 scale, and I think at the time I was just really fixated on doing super smooth blends, and so the skin tone I just spent ages on. I don't remember using too much airbrush on her actually, maybe a little bit, but it was mostly using scale paints. I sold that bust actually to a great man in the UK named Luke Glamage a long time ago now. So yeah, I mean, I think one thing I am pleased of when I look at that model is how smooth the blends are. Yeah, it's probably not something I could do now without investing more time with a brush. Tend to do a lot of tricks these days. Yeah, Tui, it's interesting how much quicker I am at doing a lot of basic stuff now. I was super chuffed with the hair, actually. And yeah, but my there's a few pretty significant weaknesses, and I chose green and red actually. Isn't that interesting? Green and red and the colours, but it's a lot less subtle. Hey, Miniatures Dan, you superstar. Yeah, I would like to repaint that model at some point soon. There's actually a 75mm version of that chick holding an actual hawk, but yeah, I don't know if I'll get around to it. There's a lot of miniatures out there in the world to paint these days, so but yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that. For a first bust anyway, you have to know that I'm not coming from a background of no painting, so I mean I was painting for about 15 years prior to that, doing just miniature for games, but yeah, now just moving into busts. Back then there was a whole lot of things I had to learn. That's a good exercise to do. I think that thing you guys do, that Dogma 48, is a really cool exercise to see what you can achieve in a limited time frame. I mean, I could probably do 3 fucking models in your Dogma 24, mate. So get amongst it. But no, it's good exercise to just practice with a limited time, and I think you get into that mindset of finish not perfect, which is a helpful mindset to be in sometimes. I want to do some more detail on this trick, so I think I'm going to do the shut up, pal. Might do some lines here, some stuff, maybe a little symbol here. So the wood came out okay on the little wooden spoon, so that's cool. So yeah, we'll probably come very close to finishing this girl on the next stream, I think. So not bad. 6 hours invested on her, so that's pretty good clip, I think. Haven't got a base for her yet. Haven't got a plinth. Just wanted to paint her and I started without a plinth. She'll be fine. She's a tough old bird. She can cop it. If you're not already following Miniatures Dan, which I'm sure you all are because he's significantly better at Twitch than I am, go and follow him now. If someone knows how to do a link for people to follow, do that. Someone. Yes, subscribe, follow, do all those things. Miniatures Den, he's the man. There he is. Good work, Paul. Shout out to my guy Paul. Maybe Paul can be my next mod instead of Ben or Jeff. The jokers. Alright, so got to do this gear. Fix a little bit more of this up and then do some textures. Yes, I know. I've watched a couple of his streams actually. I got on there the other night. I enjoyed it. It's quite a whole universe, the Twitch streaming, isn't it? Showing my absolute nuffiness here, but yeah, I've never really gotten into Twitch streaming much or watching Twitches or anything like that. But yeah, it's nice to see someone painting to a really high level and just being able to pop in and check out their progress and how they approach things. It was interesting. Alright, finishing up for tonight. Any questions about this? That'd be shit house. Don't think so. Maybe have a plan. Maybe have a plan before I go in. No, I think these models, they almost paint themselves. Lucas's sculpts, the folds are just so clearly and beautifully laid out. Oh, a little bit of shit there. I probably regret not fixing. Yes, I'm gonna do some tartan. Some tartan on her scarf, her head scarf, I think. So yeah, I'll just do some other lines if I can. And then maybe maybe like a little freehand symbol or something here. Might be nice to just do a little witchy symbol, something like that. Actually, one interesting area that probably does need some work is this triangle. Yeah, so I might just do a little bit of highlight in that triangle area, I think. Yes, and obviously paint the frog, Mr. Froggo. Yeah. Coolio. Alright friends, thank you for joining me tonight on the stream. It's been my privilege and pleasure to be your host whilst we painted and fucked up and learnt and tried some cool shit. There is a distinct possibility that I'll be back on stream on Wednesday night. And I hope to see you all then. Good luck, happy painting, happy life. Have a great night.